This is Salamancer, and you are watching SalTV Competitive TF2, home of the demo man who is extremely scared of this bird that has just landed on his shoulder. I mean, sometimes it's a little freaky if it's like all of a sudden there's a bird there and you look over and you're like, whoa! When did that happen? But, oh my gosh, that is loud. Okay, well anyway, apparently people are still buying those $50 rings. They're half off. So I mean, obviously, you know, you're not going to buy a useless ring for $100, but who wouldn't want to buy one for $50? Anyway, this is going to be an Australian game here between Team Supremacy in the blue, Team Immunity. No. Team Reprise. No, shoot. Vivid Reprisal in the red. I'm such a moron. I feel so bad about that. But no, it's definitely Vivid Reprisal. And Vivid Reprisal, doing not too bad so far, but the problem is they are getting pressured out of this mid by their opponents. Cortex did quite a bit of damage there. Very experienced demo man, apparently. But then again, so is his opponent Seeker, so you never know who is actually going to come out on top. Nonetheless, so far... Stop buying those rings. Oh my gosh, it's going to be like the most annoying thing all night. I'm going to get those announcements non-stop as I'm casting this. Because, of course, like I said, the Maniversary sale is on. And the rings are only $50. And so people just have to make hilarious jokes about the rings. Well, anyway, Supremacy going ahead and capping the second point. This is going to be a very nice, fast game. We are... Oh, here's Drakarg, actually. Drakarg filling in for Venom, who is apparently left. And so he's been a replacement on their roster. And I don't know a lot about these teams' rosters, but that was information that was sent to me. So Drakarg is actually going to be a permanent replacement. And he's not a bad scout. I've seen him before. But Team Supremacy not having an easy time of getting any damage done. Drakarg does die there, and Seeker is just going to play the artillery role, trying to keep his medic and the point defended. I like that. Problem is they might have, there is a soldier up here on the high ground, and this Team Supremacy, they're still in, they're still doing so much damage. This soldier gets on there, and somehow that terrible, terrible damage won him the game. I don't know why Vivid Reprisal was so unable to finish off their opponents, because they got two good entry picks on their opponents when they were coming in. When the Ubers were faded, it looked like Blue should have had that defense, and instead, I'm sorry, Red should have had that defense, and instead they didn't. So, you know, too bad. But it's going to be another mid-fight here on CP Process, and it's always fun to watch. Oh, Scotty, you're in trouble. Scotty doesn't know, and he does now, though, that there is a scout attacking him. Seeker trying to lay down the damage, and he is going to do a little bit. Cortex, though, is going crazy. Ricky and No Mercy both down. The scout trying to kill the med. Cortex wants to get the kill on the med now as well, but Supremacy is losing all their players. Seeker actually jumping forward on the sticky of his opponent, and now everybody's in a reloading phase. It's especially hilarious watching demo men battle, because it's like, who's going to reload that extra sticky, and who's just going to go for the one sticky that might get the kill? It's, I mean, yes, there's a lot of nuance that goes into it, but from the viewer's perspective, it's just like they're both reloading now. They're reloading. They are reloading. Oh, one of them fired a shot. Now they're reloading again. Anyway, no, there's definitely a lot of nuance that goes into like thinking about when and how to reload when you're in that 1v1 battle. Supremacy, though, losing a lot of players. Oh, no, I'm sorry, losing a lot of ground. Not a lot of players. They've taken out Scotty once again. Meanwhile, Clever Tommy is thinking about trying to keep his opponents out of that corridor for the moment. Supremacy actually lost two players there trying to defend the second point, and they weren't able to really get Siege to pop the Uber early. So that does mean that now No Mercy is going to... Oh, no! Cortex! Getting him to drop the Uber now. Pop it, don't drop it, bro. That is what you're supposed to do here in America. Clever Tommy getting taken out, though, by this scout. Problem is the scout will not be able to finish off the amazing soldiers. Phantom, one of the world's most amazing soldiers. No lie, no lie. Maybe not quite as good as American soldiers. Yes. But I really want to see these guys, you know, some of these Australian top-tier players against us Americans. I want to see it happen one day. It really should, but I'm not going to bankroll it this time. So, you know, you guys are on your own. We'll try and help you find sponsors. That's about it. Phantom, you're in trouble, though. It's a scout who could deal a lot of damage. Actually does force an Uber. And that Uber was solely just to make sure that Phantom stayed alive, because without Phantom, they didn't really feel like they were going to be able to make the push onto mid. Now, of course, they are trying to make the push. Ricky, though, on the sniper, is trying to shut things down. Phantom gets taken out by a nice air pipe from Seeker before he can... I'm sorry, Seeker, before he can get the kill on the med. And now Ricky with the completely unnecessary headshot on the 19 health soldier. And then he takes out Havoc as well, so Ricky is going crazy. Cortex trying to jump in on the med. Can he get the kill? No, he's reloading! Demo men, and they're reloading. It is so ridiculous, I know. Drakarg, though, nobody spots him. He's in. He thinks the med's hurt, but he's not that hurt. He actually had just a little bit more time there. Oh, no, Siege. He was close. He was close. But he probably had a little bit more time. Nobody had seen him yet. And I think he could have gotten away with actually getting the med drop. Sadly, he did not. And now we have Violent Reprisal? Vivid Reprisal. I'm a complete idiot now. I don't know why you're still watching this cast, because you shouldn't. Maybe it's just for the laughs. Like, look at how stupid this Salamancer guy is. Cannot cast a game to save his life. Scotty trying to get in and kill this soldier, who does, I think, actually get a hit there. Maybe it was a demo man, but either way, Scotty's now down. But there's still a lot of Vivid Reprisal players in here, and there goes Ricky with a ridiculous headshot. So, congratulations, Ricky. You win our headshot award of the day. You win a prize, and that prize is that we're going to try and watch you on the way to the next mid. That's what it's going to be. That was not a real sentence, I know. It was an imaginary sentence. It was a sentence in the complex plane, if you catch my drift. And if you don't, well, then maybe you should study some more mathematics. Imaginary numbers are hilarious. They really are. Is everybody, like... What is... Why is everybody's legs, like, flipping out? What is going on? Okay, well, this is awesome. This is, like, the best way to cast TF2 ever, because everybody's having an epileptic fit. And it's awesome. Clever Tommy, one of the first ones to die at this mid-fight, and now Supremacy is losing a lot of players. Meanwhile, people are still buying those ridiculously useless rings. And Necrosis is going to start dealing some damage. Takes out Drakarg right away. Going to start trying to chase down after this med, as well as it looks like his soldiers coming in here. Going to go for the kill on Cortex, and he does manage to finish off Havoc, so that's a complete wipeout there at mid. Everybody from Supremacy with one death now in this round, and Necrosis is ready to cap the second point already. Now, it looks like our good friend White Magic may try to walk out here, and he's using some fire support from his scouts there, using the pistols as well to just try and pepper away. But it doesn't matter. Siege has 100% Uber advantage, and I do think we're going to see this team push right in and vividly reprise their opponents. That doesn't mean anything, I know. But they're definitely going to get in there and do some damage. Thing is, Drakarg is on the sniper, and I've made the mistake of thinking that meds know when to pop before, and we'll find out. Oh, it looks like they actually did, though, so that sniper's going to be useless. The one time I decided to watch a sniper cam. Good defense so far by Supremacy, though. They managed to kite the Uber very effectively. They lost their med, but that is the only player they lost, and now it looks like... No, they've lost a few more, but they're getting all the kills. No Mercy should still be standing upstairs. He's able to do some damage from the high ground, jumping in and kind of skating around because his legs aren't working right. But nobody's legs are working right. This is TF2. What are you going to do? Ricky and Necrosis trying to cross. Did they actually spawn? Oh, no, okay. They spawn at mid, pretty much, and they have to get to the second point to try and defend it. Pretty standard. Necrosis does take down Vance, but meanwhile, Ricky is coming up the backside of the point, just trying to guard it a little bit and keep the stickies off the point. Is this really what's going to keep happening? Because it's hilarious, but oh, Ricky's going to go for back cap. Does anybody notice? Nobody notices. Ricky going for the back cap. Somebody finally found him, but it might be too late. Oh, just barely stopped it. How is that not captured? I don't even know. Necrosis is coming in, though, and he's going to try and help get some captured action going on, or maybe just get the kills as Seeker did some very good damage. Necrosis does eat some splash and die, though, and now Siege is in trouble. 35 health left, but he will get behind his team's lines here and just try to rebuild that Uber. Sadly, nobody able to quite finish up the round here for Vivid Reprisal, and that does mean that Supremacy, they're going to keep a man standing on this point at all times until it's down to below, like, half capture time, because that was very close. Oh, excuse me. Having some respiratory distress tonight. But it looks like Necrosis wants to go spy. Is the spy play going to work, though? Doesn't usually. It's a very cute thing when it does. And he's using the Cloak and Dagger, which of course is totally allowed in Oz Fortress Winter League 8, which is what we're watching. Seems like the Uber is already in, though, which this is a little weird. Usually you don't want to Uber in when you've got a spy like this. That's a very odd choice. But they have taken down Drakarg and Cortex, and now Necrosis is going to decloak. He's going to redisguise, going to go in and try and get some kills here. Or maybe just go for the point. He's taken a lot of heals from the mid, done some damage. He's hitting like 40 hits. Oh my god, I can't even talk. He's done 40 damage to that med. So he does take down Havoc, but that's really the only kill he got out of that, and that was not very effective. Basically, that Uber push was 5v6, and that's why it didn't work. Now Supremacy are going to jump out here and cap their second point, not have too much of a problem with that unless they get jumped really hard, which they shouldn't. They might, though, actually get really jumped hard. And now Phantom and Drakarg are both dead because No Mercy is a very aggressive soldier. And Supremacy just going to have to back up to the last point again because they are going to lose the second one. Cortex getting some nice kills, though. Those pills, the pills have the skills to get the kills here on Team Fortress. And Cortex is causing the ills. making his opponents write their wills. Okay, we're done. I promise. I'm not a real rapper. Cortex, though, he's still out here and still pushing with the rest of his team, keeping them all in a nice position. They have forced their opponents to Uber, and now they want to get out of here. They want to keep their med alive. I don't know if... Yes, okay, they will be able to do just that. It means that Havoc is perfectly fine for now and going to walk out here using some needles even, trying to add some damage. Siege is down, so no med for the red team. That means they're probably going to try to bomb in straight after Havoc if they can find him. And they have. Soldier takes him down. Scotty. So sick. Doesn't matter, though. Phantom kills him, too. And now, excuse me, Supremacy, they want to be marching out to mid. They have killed Clever Tom. I'm sorry, Seeker. Seeker just going to kind of lay down and rip in peace, as they say on TeamFortress.tv forums. If you haven't been to the TeamFortress.tv forums yet, well, why not? It's basically the home of competitive TF2 now in North America, period. And yeah, I mean, it's very active, very, very active forum. Lots and lots of great people on there, and lots of trolling too, but you know, you can't avoid it with a big forum. Nonetheless, it's good. And they have a pub server. There's totally a pub server that I've been playing on a lot with TFTV, Mumble, and all that. It's been a fun time. Supremacy actually holding their last, pushing out to mid. I'm sorry. Talking is hard, and if you've ever tried talking for like an hour straight, you know it's hard. Now my stream chat is trying to help me out too, because it's not just rip in peace. There's also rip in pizza, and there's rip in pieces. So you know, if you're looking for something to write on those little fake tombstones that you put out in front of your house for Halloween, you could write that, rip in pizza. And people will be like, hey, you know RIP means rest in peace, right? And you can just kind of wink at them. And just like this, what is wrong with you, medic? What is wrong? Oh, it's so sad. I don't understand why they all look like they are in the wrong classroom. I'm going to leave it at that. But it looks like both Ubers roughly even. White Magic going down right now. No Mercy wants to take a big jump in. He actually hit that soldier in midair. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. I wish I could do even like half that well, which is just getting the jump down. But there you go. SPR, Supremacy, completely wiping out on that that fight, I'm sorry, that push. Except for Drakarg, who does try, but he ends up falling to his doom. No Mercy and Necrosis. That's the source end, but Necrosis. It's just Necrosis backwards. Pushing out to mid, the difficulty now is that they're going to have a soldier jumping in to try and defend this. And that soldier's doing a pretty decent job, too. Where'd he go? There he is, finally taken out by Necrosis himself, who is now just kind of... Oh, I thought he was going to wait for that scout to push to him, and instead he went really aggressive on him, playing kind of the screening role for his soldier. But the problem is he's taking a lot of damage, and now he's taken a bunch of health from his med, who he really shouldn't have. Plus, he's in trouble from a Supremacy scout behind. Somehow that managed to turn around for him. Ricky found him in the sewer and gave him the help he needed. So now you've got scouts behind the Supremacy lines. But Ricky is dead, Necrosis is dead, so that didn't even matter. Vivid, Reprisal have lost all of their team members and are going to be stuck on last with a huge Uber disadvantage. It's just Siege and No Mercy left alive right now, and they are not looking like they're doing too good. So what are you going to do? I don't know what you're going to do. What you're going to do is probably just die, though, because there's an Uber that is ready to be popped at any time, and they weren't even able to get it popped through the door. So this is going to be a full 8 seconds of red team just trying to run around and stay alive, and it's not going to work. So Supremacy, with a very dominant play. You might almost say they were showing their supremacy in this game. Ha ha ha! So they're going to go out to another mid-fight, you know, really horrendously bad puns aside, and we're going to watch the Banny roll out, hopefully. Cortex, can he make it? No! No, he can't. He ends up taking too much damage. It's really hard to get that surf just right so you don't take damage there. Cortex, though, he's looking to deal it. He's looking to cause a lot of damage to his opponents. And the pills are going in. Are they going to hit anything, though? They're not really hitting anything yet, but they are kind of cutting off the retreat path temporarily for Vivid Reprisal. It doesn't even matter yet. But there you go, Vivid Reprisal, VR, they will retreat to their second point and lay some weird sticky traps. That's an interesting little trap spot. Can you see that when you're walking up here? No, not really. You have to get right on top of it before it's visible. Nobody really walking up that side, though, so it doesn't end up mattering this time around. But I tell you, I've definitely fallen victim to that trap before in pickup games and all that. The Uber's coming in trying to stop this second point, and it can be a good decision if you think you're in a good enough position to actually defend it and hold it after the Ubers are over. it can be a good decision to try to defend this second point. Problem is they're not in a good enough position to defend it after this is over. VR losing a bunch of players now. Both their scouts are down, and Drakarg is feeling feisty. He's going to try and get it on top of this demo med combo. Oh, and instead it is Clever Tommy with the 2 kills in the hallway. If you were playing Clue right now, that's what we were talking about. Clever Tommy in the hallway with the rocket launcher. It's 3-1, and that just might be like a halftime. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the comeback is what I'm feeling. Vivid Reprisal versus Supremacy. Supremacy is up 3-1 right now, but I think that Vivid Reprisal could make this happen. Remember that they've swapped colors, though, and so now Supremacy's in the red, VR in the blue. VR kind of stands for other stuff as well. Is there like any way to get into this house? I'm sorry, we're gonna ignore the mid-fight for a second here because there's no way to... There's a door there. Okay, I guess there is. Cortex starting to lay some damage down on his opponents, but he's got to watch out for the soldier behind him. VR, though, yeah, they're in some trouble now. They've lost 3 players. Cortex wanted to chase, and then instead he completely flubbed his sticky jump, so that didn't work. But he's still able to chase down, taking down Seeker, taking down Necrosis. And now Cortex is going to yell at his players to go because they're not getting on last fast enough. Instead, it's going to be him going. He did a little bit of damage to Ricky right as he walked out of spawn, which always sucks. But what can Ricky do except... Oh, this is interesting. He's standing right in front of the shutter door. Is anybody walking in through it, though? No, they're not. Instead, they're walking through that side. Now, the Pyro play is a good idea if you can keep the enemies away from your team, but instead, he's going to be keeping them towards his team and completely not dealing any damage at all. So, Supremacy ruining everyone. And Drakarg just destroyed Seeker with that 3-rune blade. He's in the danger zone! If you haven't seen my Danger Zone Scout video, well, it'll get uploaded eventually, I'm sure. But wow, Australia is starting to look like there are definitely some dominant teams, and definitely some teams that may not be as dominant. Havoc's team, Supremacy, they are looking really good right now. But we'll see if VR can take it back. It's 4-1, and oh no, Drakarg is in some trouble. He's not got the movement there, and that means Scotty's going to take him down. Havoc, meanwhile, thinking about trying to jump off of an enemy sticky, but it's always tough to tell when they're going to detonate those, so you never know. He's still alive, but his team, he's only got 2 damage-dealing classes left. Now he's only got 1. It's just him and... Ooh, and White Magic, and means they both died. So, well, you know what? VR actually managed to win that mid-fight, so I like it. I like what's happening right now. Excuse me. So Seeker is ready to push forward as soon as this point gets capped. Siege getting as much of an Uber as he can. Oh my god, people, please stop buying the rings. It's cute, I get it, but they're not worth $50. I'm sure Valve is just like Gabe Newell is sitting here watching, I know, let's put those rings on sale for half price and see how many more of them sell. And it's not just double, it's like 12 times the number. And he's just sitting here with like $50 bills. He's holding them. He's just like, look what I got, everyone. And we're all like, Gabe Newell, how do you do it? How do you do it, Gabe? He's a smart guy. Supremacy, though. These guys aren't buying rings at all. They're buying crits for their opponents, taking down Siege right away. The medic did actually Havoc got out of that, so Havoc's feeling perfectly fine here. Ricky is behind this scout, can't quite get the kills though, and now he's going to die. So I'm sorry, Ricky, we did not catch your best moment there. Necrosis, meanwhile, jumping into like 3 players, and he's going to get taken out. So Supremacy, they lost their med, but they will be able to push back onto the midpoint, because they got so many kills subsequently to that. It's looking pretty good. Oh, nice little ambush spot here. That's going to be Scotty with the kill on Phantom, so Scotty at least able to punish them for trying to get out here to the middle point. He's still in, too. He's taking down Drakarg now. And he's going for some spam at this point. He wants to get some heals, I think. He's just like, Med, come on. Come on. There you go. Now, he is playing the roaming soldier role, and of course this is typical of Australian roamer as well as anywhere else. You don't want to take too many heals away from your med. You kind of want to let your med do the heals in the pocket and on the scouts maybe, the demo man. But your goal is to just play from health pack to health pack, and actually he's going to get in and try to get behind his enemies. I think there's nobody left to get behind though, and he kind of missed out of the corner of his eye there, somebody respawning. But now he's standing above the spawn door, and so anybody who walks through this door is going to be in for a rough time. Or not. Maybe Scotty just doesn't care. Scotty doesn't care! Scotty doesn't care! And now, of course, in this half it's 1-1, which does mean it's 4-2 total. Overall. That's the score. I wish I had a scoreboard, but that's a pain in the butt to make, so I'm not going to do it. But other people might do it for me. People have done this in the past, yes. Wow, Seeker making the rollout look easy. And he actually missed his opponent there with the first stick. But what he's doing with these is he's trying to cut off his opponent's health kit at first. And so I kind of like that play. Now just trying to deal the damage with the pills. It's important. It's all extremely important, the damage you can get out here. Of course, nice jump in by Scotty, getting the kill on Havoc right off the bat. Clever Tommy, though, going to try and take out a couple of players here, and it does look like our blue team is going to be in some trouble. They want to keep their med alive. Siege is still alive, at least for now. And my gosh, whatever that is on my throat is not tasty. It is actually the opposite of tasty. Oh. Regardless of that, that's going to be VR with another mid-fight win, and this time they've got that 100% Uber advantage that is just crucial because they'll be able to push into last, and their opponents can't really do anything about it. They're going to have to kite this Uber very effectively or try to force an early pop, and that might be the way to do it if they can kind of pincer that soldier. So far, not happening, though. Siege, 50 health, not popping the Uber yet. Oh, he had to pop it, though. Saw the damage coming in, saw that scout coming in for the flank. The thing is, there's so many players out here for Supremacy right now. They need to get back into their point, and instead, Ricky does get another kill, so it's a 5v4 on the point right now. Ricky feeling a little bit upset that there's a heavy out there, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to go for the kill. And there goes Havoc, there goes Clever Tommy. There's too many players down, so it was a good aggressive play by Supremacy, but it was not good enough. And now it is 4-3. You know, we go from it being a 4-1 game to a very close game in under like 3 minutes. I do enjoy when these sort of things happen because they get me on the edge of my seat. No, hang on. Okay, now I am literally on the edge of my seat casting this game. And Seeker's going to start laying the sticks down once again on his opponent's health kit first, and then he's going to try and prevent his opponents from getting anywhere without taking a bunch of damage. He does kind of know where that demo man is. He sees where the spam's coming from. Going to try to keep his opponents off the top of the crates as well. And meanwhile, the soldier's jumping in once again. That's going to be, I think, Scotty, but he doesn't get the kills this time, and he does end up dying. Siege is now down. Supremacy's lost most of their players, but Clever Tommy and Cortex remain. They've got to be careful about the damage coming in from that scout. And I just had some music go through my head. Now, not that I don't enjoy music, but that feels like it's probably taking processing power away from this game. Clever Tommy gets one kill, not able to quite finish everything off, though. Necrosis does kill him. That does mean that Vivid Reprisal somehow actually won this mid-fight. Supremacy, they didn't have enough players to really hold it, and I just realized I was not even on my webcam because I was on the edge of my seat, and so I apologize for all my live stream viewers there. But Necrosis, he helped cap that point, and now this could end up being a tie game. Necrosis sees the enemies coming in, though. He sees Supremacy wanting to contest and vie for the middle point. Problem is, they've got a soldier bombing straight in on top of him, and Scotty doing a bunch of damage once again. Let's see if we can find Phantom, because the Phantom cam could be pretty important here. He's going to have to try to keep his med alive as they continue to try to push this. They're being pushed by their opponents, but Siege gets taken out from behind by Clever Tommy, and there is a sick rocket from Phantom to take down, it was no mercy. Now Havoc has been killed as well, so a good flank from both teams. But, oh, Seeker eating so many rockets on his retreat there. Phantom was just able to perfectly predict that movement. But it's not too hard when your opponent's kind of walking in a straight line, right? I guess. Supremacy taking the middle point. They want to win this game. They don't want to drop it. And so let's see the heals get back onto Phantom here, as Phantom is ready to push in right away. Oh, no, never mind. I thought he was pushing. Turns out he was dropping back to his mid, so what am I talking about? Drakarg apparently ate one rocket too many, and rockets are not Wheaties. They are not what you want to have for breakfast. Scotty now, though, is watching the flank, so that's boring. So let's find somebody who's not boring. Sorry, Scotty, no offense. It looks like Siege ate a whole bunch of damage, and Clever Tommy was able to finish him off with a long-range chip shot. Meanwhile, the rest of VR is dying. Dying non-stop. Ricky does manage to get in on top of the enemies, and he wants to force a pop. He did force a pop out of Havoc, so at the very least, VR will be able to defend their last point, but they're not going to be able to defend second. You see that White Magic is already on second point. He's going to be able to cap that away from his enemies. Oh my gosh, my nose itches so much. There's got to be like ragweed all over the place right now. Seeker trying to stop this cap, but it is not going to happen. Meanwhile, they did get the kill, though, so White Magic is down. We've just got to watch out for back caps, and I mean, they'll be able to see if anybody's coming in. There's no, ooh, yeah, there's nobody coming in right now. So there you go. They got the recapture. VR with the big Uber advantage. They're going to push this on to mid. They don't want to have to pop the Uber too early, but they are going to get bombed in. I guarantee you that we're going to see somebody like Phantom or White Magic try to jump in at the enemies. Phantom is already like in on them, but he's going to have to back up for a little bit. Meanwhile, a scout's going in to rotate, and now Phantom's thinking about rotating right back in. Dragcard got taken out, but Seeker's down, and now a whole bunch of splash damage coming in, taking out Necrosis and Siege. Phantom is jumping in after No Mercy, and he takes him down, so that's going to be too many players dead for Blue Team to mount an effective defense of their second point. Havoc has 60% Uber now. Scotty not able to get that kill on the med, not even able to touch him. So Havoc's feeling good about that one. Drakarg finishes off the capture, and now I think Supremacy should be able to push this in and win the game. They might want to slow it up and get the Uber, but no, it's 6v3. I don't think anything can save Vivid Reprisal anymore. Now, their opponents did kind of stack... Oh, hello. Did kind of stack into this corridor, but the Uber has been popped, and they are right on top of this heavy weapons guy, so he gets taken out real fast. Necrosis was the only casualty of that entire Uber, actually. And now Supremacy's losing a couple players. Clever Tommy wants to get some kills here, but there you go. Finally finishes off No Mercy. Needles are coming out, trying to defend this point. Supremacy, they don't have a lot of health left. They don't have a lot of players left. They're trying and trying, but no, it's not going to happen. White Magic, where are you right now? He's going to try and jump in as his opponents don't see him yet. Scout taking a lot of damage. Ricky took a few hits too many and died, but White Magic, oh, gets hit by a pill. So actually, really nice defense by VR. There goes Necrosis, though, not able to quite finish off the capture of second. So Supremacy are probably going to have another shot to try and get this last point finished off once again. They're in a good position right now. Taking hits from Scotty, but Scotty does die. So Supremacy are looking pretty solid. 6v4 at the moment. Their opponents are going to be respawning. Here comes a heavy. He'll be out there on the point trying to defend. And Drakarg getting a little bit too far forward here. And he does die as a result. I think Drakarg, of course, was an old Counter-Strike player and may not quite have the metagame, down pat yet for Scout. But that's all right. He's still doing quite an excellent job. Just the problem is, 2 Scouts are down for Supremacy now. They could always try and respawn in a different class, but pop the Uber! Oh, Havoc, why? Did he have the Uber? I thought he did, but he doesn't anymore. Maybe he didn't. I'm confused. Oh, Necrosis! Oh, that is the end of the game. It's kind of hilarious, actually. I think it's the end of the game. Yep, that's GG, everybody. So, of course, Supremacy won that one 5-3, but a good 5-3 it was. Vivid Reprisal giving them a very good run for their money. So, thanks for watching, of course. Subscribe on youtube.com/fatmop. Leave me a like or a comment if you liked or commented the video. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, maybe you just had enough beer. See you later.